Okay, so our little project was about videos on the globe. We have this nice globe in the lobby, but none of us has time to make nice videos. And when we make videos, it takes a lot of time. It's a tiring process. So we wanted to see, is there something outside? Can we get some nicer, easier way to make our videos? We made quite a broad proposal to see what we get. We got Lorenzo, who adapted the Blender software and its BVtk add-on to handle our data and to make visualizations easier for us. And he will explain what he did. And after, not after this talk, but after a talk just before lunch, you can come to the globe and see the results of our work.
Okay, thank you. Do you hear me? Yes. So, I'm Lorenzo Celli, and today I will be presenting my work for the Summer of Weather Code 2019, which is BVtk, which, as Milana said, is an add-on for Blender. First, let's see what my team was. Lorenzo Celli, it's me. Enzo Papandrea working at CNR. Gabriele Brizzi working at CNR and Serco. Antonella Guidazzoli and Silvano Boden working for Cineca. So I think we can start talking about what is BVtk. BVtk is an add-on for Blender. So it's the integration between Blender and the visualization toolkit. We have these two powerful and open source software. On one side, Blender, which is used by artists to create images like the one you see on the left, which is a tree creature, and VTK, which is a library used by scientists and programmers to create simulations like the one you see on the right. So BVtk is the union between these two things. And why is BVtk born? To give scientists the possibility to create appealing images with their scientific data, so they can, so that they are more suitable for the general public to be shown to others. And to explain this, I have this image here, which is Grand Canyon data visualized in ParaView. With the same data in BVtk, you can do something like this, which is more suitable to be shown to the people because they like more they see, and it's instant. And this is how BVtk appears. This is the Blender interface, and on the bottom part you see a node tree. These rectangles connected, and this is what the add-on adds to Blender. And I won't go in details because I don't think it's the objective of this presentation. But anyway, you click the update button, and your pipeline that you built updates. And then in this case, it was just a change in color in this, which is a parametric call function. Anyway, BVtk already existed before the Summer of Weather Code, and it was even present to the Blender Conference 2018. This is me and Silvano, and it was even used by people like Tuomo Kitalo, which made this really beautiful image, I think, with a CFD simulation. So this gives you an idea of the capabilities of the software. And at this point, you may be wondering what we did for the Summer of Weather Code if BVtk already existed. Well, it existed, but it was missing a few main features. And so we proposed it. And we proposed to add time-varying data support, which was missing, volume rendering support, which was missing. And we proposed even to create a batch script to automate the creation process of the animations, and to create even some animations. And so we did. Okay, this was okay. So how we address this problem? I created a new output selection into Blender node. You probably won't recognize this node, but it's a thing inside Blender. It's a part of the pipeline. So now you, as an output, you can choose volume, and you will have a volume output. And later we will see an example of volume rendering. Then, to support time-varying data, I created this node here with the time step selection, the conversion from the netcdf date, and you can select the date format. So now let's see an example of volumetric rendering. As you can see, it's two-dimensional, And since you can set the opacity in colors, you can see through it. So it's a bit different from the things you see in 2D. It's volumetric. Another thing we proposed was the batch script, as I was saying before. What is the batch script? It's a shell script that you can run to automatically create an animation. And there are a few options, as you can see in this green text. But the two required are the input data and the preset. And we will talk about the preset in the next slide. For now, just assume that you know what it is. You choose your input data, and then you get in output an animation, not an animation, a series of PNG images that you can use to create your animation. Now, what is a preset? A preset is a Blender file already set up that you can use to create the animation. So you go on the BVtk website, you choose the one you like. At the moment, there are only 3. You choose the one you like and you download it, and then you plug it in the shell script and you create the animation. So since we're talking about the website, this is another outcome of the project together with the presets, and I made it just to display BVtk and create a friendly download page. Now I think we can skip to the interesting part of the project, the more visual part of the project, which are the animations I made. This one was more a test with the temperature in January 2018, and I made it after adding time varying data support. Then we made this one that maybe you saw on the globe on the warming stripe day, because it has a warming stripe on the center, and it's showing temperature anomalies. And with the same data, we did an equivalent animation, but with a blue marble picture behind, an earth picture behind. And so you can see the earth and the colors changing, and at the end it looks a bit apocalyptic, which I think is good for an animation like this. Another example with volumetric rendering is this one, which is one I made recently. And it's showing CO2 concentrations in January 2018. And it's really short, but it gives you an idea of volumetric rendering. And then another one, which I think always with CO2 gives you, again, an idea of the capabilities and the visual impact that an animation can have, is this one, where you can see the globe. And it's a bit short because it takes time to render, but and this is again CO2 in January 2018, and you see the date changing. And that's it. And then other than the animations and the development, we did a few other things, but they are a little bit beneath the surface, so you may not understand it if you never used the BVtk, and I'm sure you didn't. For example, we added this selection for the color ramps, so you have a menu and you can pick the color ramp you like, and there are a few other improvements in the software and in the algorithm. And that's it. Thank you. This is the GitHub page.
Hands-on experience by looking at the globe later on. In the meanwhile, team just.
Oh yeah, very nice animations. Your CO2 one at the globe, you said that was volume rendering. What in that context? What do you mean? Because it looked like a flat map to me.
Yes, the animation with volume rendering looks flat because you see it from the top. But you can make animation where you move the camera, because since Blender is a 3D graphical software, you can do whatever you want. You can move the camera and you can do something like the image I showed about volume rendering, which is perspective. So you can see actually through it, as in this image here. You may do something like this with earth behind. So maybe you focus on a state, and you can see the height and the CO2 changing the z-axis. But the animation Yes, we should make an animation like this, when we didn't. This is on Ozone, by the way. was on data. And but you can do it. You can experiment. We did what we have time to do because I was developing and creating the animation, so I didn't have much time to do what was in my mind. For sure, it's a good idea to create animation where you have the camera move so that you can see 3 dimensions. And this one that you saw looks flat because it's from top, so you can see obviously the. I think you should ask my colleagues, my mentors. If you want to, for sure, if you don't want to use the batch script, it wouldn't be easy because you have to know a bit Blender and a bit VTK. If you use the batch script, it should be easy.
But we have installed everything on our laptops here, and we have spent the last week trying to create a lot of light. It's easy now for us. I think we have to learn a bit more, and we will certainly be able to help you with some nice animation. You have the idea. You want to see.
More questions?
Yes, this is a similar question, but also external to ESoWC. How easy would it be to use it for an arbitrary NetCDF file?
For NetCDF, it's made.
I think the most difficult is to install.
It's made for NetCDF, the batch script. The batch script is made only for NetCDF, so that's the easiest thing you can do. If you want to do something more special, you have to learn a bit Blender, a bit VTK, and then you can use it. By the way, it's a bit difficult, but it gives you a big degree of freedom, so you can do whatever you like, because it's a graphical software. So it's made for that, to let you do artistic work, what you like, as in the images I showed before.